Hey everybody, this is Captain Yeet here with you for another Blue Exorcist Beyond the Snow Saga Season 4 episode review. This is going to be Season 4, Episode 9, titled Congratulations. So, let's get into it. So, the episode starts off with Ren and the main group of characters going back to Kyoto because last episode, Juzo called Bond saying, hey, me and Mama see about to have a baby, and now they're about to get married. So, everybody's here for the big occasion, and I really like this one shot 'cause as soon as they get here, they're all just sitting together and they run into Bond's mom at first, and it was so funny to me because back in season two, when they first come back to Kyoto to handle the whole Impure King situation, I mean not Ren, Bond's mom was really mad at Bond because he had that yellow mohawk in the middle of his hair. So when he goes, hey mom, I'm back. She gets really mad, starts yelling at him, pulls his hair out like she was going crazy. And this instant, she got a new haircut. So she looks at him, she goes, hey, I'm like, what's your name? I'm so happy to see you. He's like, what I do? Like he doesn't understand that he got a new haircut. Anyways, he says that it's pretty packed right now in the Kyoto sect because, well, since the wedding, a bunch of relatives and family members have come in here, so we're pretty packed, but obviously we still have a few rooms left for you and your friends. Everybody goes outside and they run into Juzo just chilling together, and they make it a lot, and I mean a lot of mochi for the wedding and for just for today too. And it was so funny because we see one of Mamosi's sisters, and I can't remember his name. It's the other brother of Sima with the yellow hair that we met on the bus when they were going to Kyoto. We see him and they're pounding Mochi. I mean, they're going crazy. Even Yuzo has to yell at them and say, "Hey, it's going so crazy." Mochi. Like, look at this. They just something like the brother's using the hammer and she's using her hands, and they're just yelling, just going crazy on the Mochi. Just so bad for it. Then we meet a lot of new characters. So I thought the Seymour family was already big to begin with, but we see this little girl come out of nowhere and punch Seymour in the legs, and he falls over. This lady says, "Hey, what are you doing? Don't do that to your uncle." And we find out that Seymour has an older sister. That's the older sister. These are her two kids, the baby and this girl that just pushed Seymour down, and that's her husband in the background with the glasses. So Seymour has an older sister. As soon as he says that, another girl comes out of nowhere and starts hugging Konokomaru. She's really happy to see him, and it turns out he has another sister. So that's his oldest sister, and then they have another sister, a little sister. So it's right after Shima, and she loves Konokomaru. It was so funny. So right after that happens, Ren and Shima look kind of mad because Konokomaru's been like a ladies' man. Because back when they were trying to find somebody to go to the prom, well, not the prom, it was like a school dance at the festival last season. He endlessly had a date from some girl at like a chess club or something, and they couldn't find one for like weeks. Anyway, next, Seema little sister. It was also funny when Ren and Seema got mad about him being a ladies' man all of a sudden. Um, the whole screen changes. And Kuro, he has two tails, and they both like form together to make a heart when they see Seema's little sister just hugging him super hard. See, look, I don't know why he did that. I guess because he's seeing the little sister so happy, but it makes it hard. And I was like, oh, I guess these two characters could get together because Seema is about around the same age as everybody in the main group, so they're around like 15, 16, and his little sister doesn't seem that much littler than him. So they're like 15, 16. I'm guessing she's 14, 13, not too far behind. 'Cause he seems about the same age around them, so I guess so. Then right after that, they run into another sibling. Jeez, like this is crazy. They run into another sibling of Zima, and this is his older brother, Golem. Look how big this guy is. He's towering over them. Seema says that he's an exorcist, but he's out of Branx overseas, so we don't really get to see him that much. But obviously he came down for his little brother's wedding, and there was the sibling with the yellow hair. I guess they're like really close, so he kicks Seema out the way. Is like hugging him. So if you count all that up, that's seven kids because that's the older brother that died in the Blue Knight. Then it's the older sister. Then it's the older brother we just met here that's overseas all the time. Then you got the two older brothers we met during the Kyoto saga. Then Ixima. Then it's his little sister. Like seven kids. That's crazy. And they all don't seem that much older than each other. Because, like I said, the little sister doesn't seem that much younger than Ixima. And Ixima is only a slightly, like a few years behind from the yellow hair, and the yellow hair is not that far behind from Juzo. And then, yeah, so all these kids aren't that far apart from each other. So the dad, the dad was being busy boy. That's pretty funny. And I don't remember anything about Seema's mom though. That's interesting because back in season two, I don't remember him saying too much about his wife, the dad, or saying anything about the mom. I can't remember. And she didn't die in the Blue Knight because anytime that they mention the Seema family in the Blue Knight, the only person they mention dying is the older brother. That's the only person. So unless she died at like a other date, but they don't talk about it, maybe the husband and the wife get divorced shortly after the daughter or something. I don't know. Unless they do have a wife and he just mentions she's somewhere else, but I don't remember him saying anything about a wife though. So I don't know. I guess either she died or they got divorced, and obviously you don't talk about the divorce. So yeah. Anyway, they all walk into like the eating area of this place and they run into Juzo again and they run into Bond's dad. Everybody's pounding mochi and rolling it. So while they're doing that, Yukio tries to help out, but obviously he only has one hand. You need to like roll it like this, so he's not really gonna be too much help. And he also, congratulate Juzo on the big wedding. So while everybody's doing this, Ren looks over at Yukio and he remembers a few nights ago. Basically, last episode at the end when he was spazzing at him at night when they had that little birthday Christmas party, and we get a bit more information on that. So Ren starts yelling at Yukio, saying like, "Why do you want to know so badly? What's the point of knowing, huh?" And Yukio, he gets choked up. He doesn't really know what to say. He goes, "What do I want to know?" And he gets mad. He just starts laughing like a maniac. And he goes, "Of course." Of course, we're brothers by blood. We're gonna be more different. I mean, we're both right and wrong in our own ways, and we're different. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being too loud. I'm going back to bed. And Ren is just like flabbergasted. He's like, "What just happened?" Because Yukio never acts like this. And then we got back into real time, and Yukio smiling and laughing. And Ren goes, "He's been like this ever since that night, putting on that fake smile he always does, but wrong. Something's up with Yukio." Then we get the opening. After 5 minutes. After the opening, we cut over to Bond talking to Lightning, and basically it turns out that it's December 30th and it's about to be New Year's. So he's telling Lightning, "Hey, you should get out of bed soon, get some more investigation going on." He goes, "Yeah, well, just enjoy the wedding." As soon as they hang up, Lightning gets up and he goes out to find that dude that Mephisto brought up. That he's probably the only person that could have been the leak to the Illuminati, and that gave the big dog of the Illuminati all the information. So after that, we cut over to Seema. He's outside and he starts to think to himself that, "Jeez, it's getting so noisy and lively over here, and we've only been here for a day. I kind of want to go back to the dorms and everything." Then he also starts to think about what Lightning told him. He has a self bell on his neck, and he can't go back to Illuminati with that thing because he could track him with that Sith bell. So how is he gonna get it off? He asked Jumantica to get it off for him, and a tiny form of him comes out. He goes, "I can, but it's gonna cost." He doesn't specifically say what is it gonna cost him, but I'm guessing like life energy or something. I don't know, but he says it's gonna cost him. He goes, "What? Oh, come on, Yamashika, don't do that. Can't you just do this for me?" He goes, "Hey, don't go big with me. You are not trained enough to even handle me. You keep passing out every time you call me out, but still, I protect you and fight for you no matter what. Come on, you're gonna have to give me something if you want me to get that silver bell off you, because that person that put it on you is a way better exorcist than you are. So we're gonna take some power from me to rip that thing off." And Seema goes, "Yeah, sure, right. A lot of what we're gonna do." Then Coniferium comes out. He goes, "Hey, you're able to handle your Electrica. When have you been able to really summon him out fully?" And Chima says, "Somewhat recently." So I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense because I haven't brought it up really ever since he found out he can even use this thing. I haven't brought it up in a video. I've always been thinking to myself, if you can pull out this giant black flaming bull thing with four arms to fight for you, why didn't you pull it out doing the whole Maimon situation in the forest? Now, I'm not saying I don't know how strong this thing is. I mean, they have said that he's like a really high level demon, but I don't know how like strong. Like, I don't know if he's gonna beat a Maimon, even put him on his toes or anything. But it would be useful to use it against him right before he was about to kill everybody, right? 'Cause that's why Ren had to reveal himself. Why didn't you pull it out then? That would have been a good time to pull out your Mantica. But like he said, I've been only to really fully control him and pull him out recently. So I guess he didn't really have him back through the whole Maimon situation. So okay, I guess that makes somewhat sense. I guess. So Shima says that he's kind of been jealous of Komokomaru ever since they were kids. He doesn't really have a really big family. He really doesn't like his really big family. Komokomaru goes, "Are you kidding me? I've been jealous of you since we were kids. You have such a big family, a loving, a big loving family that loves you very much, and you have your Mantica, this really powerful thing. Why don't you just like if I was you, I'd use the Mantica to protect everyone in the Miyota sect, and obviously I have a big family." And they don't go into detail, but I mean, obviously Konokomaru was saying this because his only family members really that we know of are his mom and dad, and his mom and dad both died in the Blue Knight. So he really had nobody. He was an orphan. The Miyota sect took them in, and he's been like a big family member ever since then. And I'm like, yeah, of course he's been thinking like I would love a big family like Shima's because he doesn't have a big family. I mean, yeah, everybody in the Miyota sect is his family, but they have their own mini families, and he doesn't have that at all. I'm like, yeah, that's not why he said that. He don't. They kind of allude to it, but they don't specifically say that. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense why he said that. I don't know why he didn't full on say it. And I forgot to mention there was this one line in the conversation where Shima says, "I need to train more because anytime I summon Yamantika, I pass out." Yamato like, yeah, that's the truth. And Kono also says that when they were training, I guess he was able to summon him somewhat back in the day because they were training. He summoned him and he passed out, and he just never tried to summon him again ever since then. So I guess when they were kids, or maybe right before they joined the Knights of the True Cross, he was able to summon him somewhat, and then he just passed out of nowhere. Anyway, Juzo comes outside. He goes, "Hey, we're having a bachelor party for me. Let's spar." And they start to spar, and he's like, "Yo, dog walking." I mean, he's, he's dog walking Seymour. He can barely even block his attacks. He goes, "Come on, Seymour. You need to train more. How do you expect to keep yourself alive if you don't?" Everybody's just watching, like, "Jeez, my goodness." I mean, look at this. Zero couldn't even get a hit in. He was just getting hit back to back to back. Boom, boom, wham. He's kind of a bad for him. So Konokomaru goes over to Sema to help him stand up. And he goes, "Hey, don't you worry. If anything ever happens to you, I'll make sure your asses get back to the Myoto sect." He goes, "Why does everybody keep thinking I'm gonna die? I mean, you are double agent for the Illuminati and the Knights of the True Cross. That's a pretty tight wedge to fit in. That's pretty bad." So then we cut to later that night, and they don't specifically say this, but I'm assuming they're going over to that bell to ring for the New Year since it's about to be the New Year's. I'm assuming. Only reason I'm thinking that is because I remember in that one show I like, The Disastrous Life of Psyche K, around the New Year's time, or it was New Year's, they went over to like this bell and they rang it for good luck and good fortune, or they like pray for a wish. Wishing they're gonna go do that. So Seema's older brother is taking everybody, and he's like doing roll call to make sure everybody's here. It's like so everybody's here, and he's really drunk from the back of the party, so he keeps slurring everybody's names. And he's like, "Wait a second, where's Haku?" Izumo's like, "My name's Izumo. Where's where's Sushi at?" I was trying to say Semi and Ren, but Ren and Semi got separated from the group, so they're just walking together to go to the bell. They don't specifically say that, but that's what I'm assuming that they're doing. So while they're walking and talking, Ren says, back in, it hasn't even been a full year yet. We're about to become exorcists, which is kind of crazy. Well, some of us. And but the last time that we came to Kyoto, I thought everybody hated me. And Simi's like, "We didn't think that." He goes, "Yeah, yeah, I know now, but I was just feeling so distant from everybody. And now it seems like you're getting distant from us too." So he goes, "Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stir up so much emotion and feelings." And he also brings up, you know, Yukio. He doesn't specifically tell her what happened that night, but tells her that Yukio's been feeling kind of off lately. Just don't even know him anymore. I don't even know what he's thinking in his head. And then the brother comes in and finds them both. And then we cut to the next day of the wedding. Everybody's getting dressed, running around making food. It's gonna be a big day. It's a big wedding, it's an exciting time. And one thing I want to mention before we continue, I never forget just how mad I was watching season two in season one when everybody got mad at Ren. Because I'm like, what? Everybody was distancing themselves for Ren, calling him a monster, saying like, you killed my family and stuff. And then halfway through season two, they were like, the reason why we were mad at you was because you didn't trust us enough to tell us that you were a half demon of Satan. I'm like, what? Did you see the way y'all reacted? And the way Ren revealed himself was reasonable. I mean, y'all were cool with each other. Then a Maimon shows up. He's about to kill everybody. He shows out his blue flame, starts fighting him to save everybody. And then, how could you let him in here? Why would you let him? What? I get the emotions might flare up because of the blue night and the blue flames. But still, and that like after like maybe a week or two, you're still acting that way to him. Come on now, like I was so mad. The only one that was really having Ren back was Seema, because he was like, obviously it's kind of wild that he's the a half, but he's a good guy. He was saving us. He knew that. Well, Grumble kind of knew that, but it was still kind of shaken up because of the blue flames. Izumo knew that because he sat with him on the bus going through Kyoto. Like, I don't know what the big whoop is. I mean, there's a lot of people. Anyway, sorry, that's a tangent, a little tangent, but let's continue. Let's continue. So at first we get to see Bond's mom helping Mamochi get dressed, and we don't get to see fully what it looks like until the actual ceremony. But I do like this one shot where we see the older brother with the blonde hair and Bond and Rin and gonna go everybody like peeking in to see, and I'm like, wow, Mamochi does look kind of good right now. Like she looks beautiful. And the older brother, like, yeah, I mean, this is kind of first. Like, this is kind of crazy. She actually looks pretty like this. And then we just get a montage of everybody like running around and doing stuff. And then we get over. I mean, there was one little scene of Ren asking Yukio, doesn't this whole situation make you feel warm and fuzzy inside? This nice family outing, we're getting married. And he just goes, yeah. So like so like anyway, we cut over to Bond, and he's helping his dad get dressed. And while he's helping his dad get dressed, his dad makes sense and goes, hey, you seem a lot more nicer than usual. I guess it's that new haircut. And I hear that you're apprentice of this really big shot exorcist. What was his name? Lightning. And he goes, yeah, Lightning. He goes, I overheard some of the Schema boys getting pretty mad about it. He's like, for what? And then we got over to this like scene of him hearing that he's apprentice to Lightning, and he was like, "Well, I remember them being pretty mad. They're like, hey, who does this person think they is that they can just boss going around, huh? Man, hello." But when they heard it was Lightning, they're like, "Oh, it's Lightning? Well, I guess that's pretty cool." They changed up their tune so quick. And then Bond like, "You gotta be kidding me." This was Bond was talking about back in like episode two or three. And his whole life he's been like pampered because he's supposed to be the next leader of the Myoto sect. And he's like, I just want to see how it feels like to be all the way around and to be treated like as like put on a pedestal so much. Like I've been my whole life. Anyway, while they're talking, Yukio comes in saying that his mom's calling for him, so they walk away. And I mean not Bond, Seema's older brother, the oldest one that's overseas, he comes in to help his dad get dressed. So he goes, Dad, after this whole, I mean, no, sorry, not Dad. He goes, Master, after this whole wedding, I have to go back overseas. So can we talk about the thing? He goes, yes, yes, so many information that you know. He goes, I tried to forcefully summon Contra, but it didn't work because from our information that we got from the Legend of the True Frost, when they found Kodo, in in I forget what's called, but in that lake when he got up Hachiru, Hadara sort of perfectly bonded with his body. So their original plan was to exercise Toto, then raid summon Kadara so he could be back in the family, but they can't really do that. But if they exercise Toto, they can do that. But now that Kadara sort of perfectly aligned with him, it's gonna hurt Kadara. So this is getting kind of a tricky situation. We need to hurry up and do something. And they still haven't explained how Toto is even Toto right now. The last time we saw Toto, Yukio fought him. He turned into goop after that long fight. And they were like, okay, after he turned into goop, we have to scoop him up in canisters, put seals on them, and run away. Now, they never fully sold that happening. They said that but never sold it. Because after they were saying, like, we have to scoop them up, that's when the impure king started going crazy, ran into that huge fire blast, and Yukio ran over to him. So maybe in that instance, when everybody ran over to Rin, he was able to somewhat reform himself in goopy form and get away. Or he was able to break out the canisters, or they made a clone body, but Kataros would be inside the original goopy body. So how did he transfer that? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe there was some more information in the manga. I haven't read the manga, but from an anime standpoint, I don't know how Toto is Toto. Unless Kataro's regeneration abilities just kicked in like crazy for him to get away. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. So we cut over to the wedding, and like a good chunk of people are sitting down waiting for the ceremony, but everybody else is getting ready to walk in or do whatever. And Yukio asks Bond, "I heard that lightning came over to the monastery, and it's somebody that worked there ever since the kids died. I wouldn't have any relation to it, right? What kind of what kind of research are you and Lightning conducting?" And Bond gets really nervous. And then we cut over to Lightning. So that one guy that should be the leak to the Illuminati, he's going into work. He comes out of his car. He goes, hmm. And off to the side, he hears, so, hey, how you doing? I forgot his name. It was like, not Neuhaus. I forgot his name. Actually, I can just pause and get his name. I can just play the volume. Okay, I got it. His name is Dr. Dragulescu. So Lightning goes, Happy New Year. He goes, huh? Turns around, boom! He punches him straight in the face and he goes flying. And he calls out some of those little sylph things that he's been using since we met him. And he has him just flying around his body to make like a barrier and like a wind thing that puts him back. I mean, look at this. He punched him hard. I mean, he was not so good. He got a lead and he fell through, man. He was going all in. He was messing around. So, oh yeah, and also I guess I'll show you the cool scene when he has like all those silk things flying around his body to make like a barrier. Anyway, he's obviously like, so you have ties to Illuminati. Man, you're a hard worker. I've been trying to get you alone. You're already at work on New Year's. That's really commendable. He goes, what's the meaning of this? Why are you doing this? If you think that I'm a part of the Illuminati just because I was at Sector 13, you are sorely mistaken. Information, wherever you got it from, is wrong. You will assign a Mornov contract, right? And a Mornov contract, you say anything even remotely related to whatever the contract was for, you die. But that guy back in the monastery, all he said was Section 13 and one other word. He didn't say anything else. That Grim Reaper instantly came in like, oh no. Yo, like, I'm never gonna let you even get close to what you were talking about. And he instantly cut that off. He instantly killed him. So Lightning brings up, oh yeah, that's true. You have more of contracts. So that's the one thing I'm trying to figure out how you're able to get bypass it because not too many men can witness a massacre and do all those kind of experiments and still be in the same line of work for a decade now. Like something's fishy. So he sends a ton of these little sylph things at him and cuts up his legs, his chest, like keeps cutting him up. He goes, my name is Lightning. You know what I also go by? The torturer. Eventually these things are cutting him up so bad, his like suit that he has on, the top part of it rips off. And it's like this wavy scar on his neck. So Lightning sees this, he goes, okay, that's all we need to know. Dr. Rescue was like, yo, I'm going to report you to the higher ups. You'll be arrested. He goes, you better hurry up. I'm going to report you too. And he doesn't go into detail exactly what this wavy thing on his neck is. It's kind of bright, so you can't really see it. But, like I said, he doesn't really go into detail on what it is, but I'm assuming either it's some sort of temptate or some sort of I don't know. I guess it has to be some sort of thing in order for him to let him bypass the Morinov contract. Because, like I said, the Morinov contract, you say anything remotely to it, you instantly die. So how else would he leak the information? So I'm guessing whatever this thing is helps him bypass that, or maybe it took him off him and they give him that scar. And Lightning knows what that is, so he goes, "Okay, I got him. It's done. I got him." So he walks away. After that, we cut back over to Bond and Yukio, and Bond tells Yukio, I'm sorry. I cannot tell you. Yukio says, hey, it's okay. I understand. You're in a high level position. You're doing some research, and you can't just let anybody know. And after that, the wedding commenced. And it's a really nice wedding. We get a montage of different scenes of them doing the vows, putting the rings on each other. And I don't know why, but it was so funny. 'Cause when they bring the rings out, one is like super big and one is like super small. And obviously the really big one is for Yuzo, but just the size difference was just so funny to me. Anyway, this is what Mama she looks like when she's in a wedding dress. She looks really nice. And I thought it was also funny because back in season two, she lost her eye, so they just put like a flower up there on the eye packs. Which I mean, it's nice, but it's also kind of funny. I don't know why, but when I saw that, that was hilarious to me. I couldn't stop cracking up a little bit. And then this is them getting married, which is really nice. So it's just, like, just a nice moment to have a wedding. And I also thought it was kind of funny because last year I went to a wedding, super bright, but this is probably gonna be my thumbnail. But last year, I went to a wedding for my cousins, and then not even a year later, this wedding is happening. I thought that was so funny. So after the wedding, everybody starts partying. They start drinking, having fun, singing. It's a nice time. Oh, that was a nice shot. I'm gonna get that shot up here. It was a nice shot of them laughing after they get married. So in the montage of them getting married, one scene kind of confused me. So there's a montage, like I said, of them having fun at the wedding, just joking around, and then everybody yelling at them, kiss. And Mamuxi's kind of nervous to kiss in front of everybody, and they kiss eventually. And the screenshot when they kiss, it's so funny because in the background you see like some of the girls like, oh my goodness, like oh snap, and then you see like the dad, Bond's dad, he's eating and he's like, he's like very confused. Like it's a really funny screenshot when they kiss. I'm like, didn't y'all just kiss to get married? I guess we didn't see that though, because normally any TV show or movie or animated show I watch, they do the vows, the rings, and then they're like, okay, I announce you, Mrs. and Mrs. whatever, and you kiss. I guess in Japanese weddings, you don't do that. I don't know. I never seen one, anything I remember besides from this. And never been to one, obviously. So I don't know. I guess you don't kiss at the end of getting married, but like I said, they kiss and like everybody's like, "What? You know, there's no way they're doing that." Like, it's like a ball is down. Hmm? Like he was in the middle of eating, and he turns around like, "What's going on?" I thought that was so funny. So after that, Bond gets a phone call from Lightning. Lightning said that he needs him to type up this paper by tomorrow morning, and he hangs up. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna do that. But then we see a gun pointed to Bond's head. He turns around and it's Yukio. He brings him over to the corner, puts the gun up to his chin. He goes, tell me any information that you know that you or Lightning are looking into. If I were me and Red Born. Bond's like, obviously taken aback, like his teacher got his gun to his chin. He goes, so what are you gonna do if I don't tell you? You're gonna shoot me? Yukio's like, I'm sorry. I must have too much to drink. I'm so sorry. He walks away. And Bond goes, hey, come back here. I mean, what's going on with you? Let go of me. I said, I'm sorry. Don't apologize. Just tell me what's going on. He goes, I'm your superior. Let go. He looks all mad at him, and Bond's taken aback and he lets go. He goes, did he always have that look in his eyes? And then while he's walking away, I don't know, I thought this scene was so cool. While he's walking away, he's about to cut the corner, and we see a Kirik just shoot out in front of him. He goes, in the team, he goes, watch your teeth. I told you, whatever this thing is going on with you, I told you to consult somebody, not pass around threats. You feel like, who's going to consult? You? Kaban? Mephisto? I can't talk to Ren. Consulting somebody wouldn't solve anything. Because after all, we're all so different. He just starts laughing like a maniac. He starts laughing again. Like I said, look, this is like the cool scene I like when the character pop up in front of him. He goes, watch your teeth. Well, I just tell you, I told you to chill out a little bit. Anyway, after that, he gets a phone call. Yukio gets a phone call from Sira. Sira's on the phone, like young as fast, like we need you back at the order right now. We're short-handed. I'm wondering why they didn't call Sira up to come to the wedding. I mean, I know she didn't come until like the later half of season two when they started fighting the Impure King. She wasn't there. No, yeah, no, she was there. She was at the beginning, yeah. Why didn't she come to the wedding? I just realized, I'm like, well, yeah, why wasn't she here? I don't know. But they're really short-handed and they need a lot of people now. He's like, what's going on? Everybody starts spazzing in the other room, so they run inside, and on the news, there's this gigantic cyclops terrorizing the train station. And I was just on the train going to Charlotte. But there's a gigantic cyclops there. Everybody's shocked because they're like, what? Has a high level demon like this ever been just walking around in like main cities like this? No. This is really bad. I need to get all those people out of there. And then credits. That's the end of the episode. Really good episode. I would love to be here. Like in this kind of like scenario, like big family wedding. Like I just love things like this. I'm like on a corner. I'm in a pretty big family. I love like the whole family gets together, just joking around. Like I love that. That's just so cool to me. I just love it so much. But that's the episode. I'm like, I think that's why I love season two so much because they were just in this tight space that Kyoto plays so much. But yeah, that's the episode. We only have 3 episodes left, so 3 weeks. Let's go. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all later. Thank you all for watching. I think all out there being wonderful human beings, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. All right.